Yeah, I can officially declare that summer is over, and we've just entered winter. And I'm sure the Scottish people are laughing at us at the moment because they've had some already through December. So very different. But yeah, you're right. Look, I would suggest to you this is for the moment anyway. This is very normal. It's perhaps what you expect a little bit of. Maybe we lost the thread of that in years gone by, where let's just say the southeast, particularly where some of the snow is falling at the moment. We used to think it's all dead and buried, it's gone, and we're never going to see it back. Well, it's back for proper meteorological reasons. And is it nice to see? I think it always there's always a bit of chatter around the first snowfalls, isn't there? In England, I'm talking about here. Look, at the moment, it's not doing too much. Look, I should say actually, when I say it's not doing too much, there are places that the snow's a little bit heavier. Places like Maidstone, Kent area generally. There's some just crossing into southern London. But yeah, that sort of southeast corner into Suffolk and as far north as the southwest Midlands and as far west as just getting through Wiltshire now, little bits and pieces. But that's not the end of it. You already mentioned the fact that it's going to continue, and it will continue. Look, it'll be bits and pieces, little pecks from the North Sea coming in, spots and bits and pieces of snow, and the ice will be a problem as well going forward. But it's this time next week is the real stuff. The wind changes to a northeast, northeast, and we get that Scandinavian stuff, and all the models are suggesting much bigger stuff to come. So that's when we might start to talk about the troll from the Trondheim, and really get worried about what it might do in terms of travel and transport and pedestrians and snowballs and all of that.
Okay, so this is nothing. Next week we might need to be a bit more
Yeah, this is
concerned.
the hors d'oeuvres. This is the
Right.
hors
It's an
d'oeuvres.
amuse-bouche, as we say up
Yeah.
north. Right. I mean, what about the fact that I know you very seriously, Jim, believe that climate change, our weather and our changing climate needs to be front and centre of the election debate?
Yeah, I do. And I'll try and give you the reason behind that. I wrote a book, the first book actually, Whether or Not, a few years ago, and I said in that book that it's the most impactful outside events. In other words, things that we can't control ourselves, bar nothing. That's weather and climate, and we got no control. We're quite small when it comes to extreme events, and those extreme events do have the capability of shifting the likes of the economy, inflation, how the NHS might perform with health and well-being. And to be frank with you, it goes on and on and on. And what the more extreme the weather gets, the more climate change digs in, and even migration, enforced migration, if I can say, because there will be countries, particularly poor countries, that how can I put this? Climate migration means that there's nothing left. You can't, there's nothing to
Mm.
eat, there's nothing to drink. So what do you do with your family? You try to move. And some of those people do end up in boats. And I think that could well be the future. So look, this is all tied in, and it touches every single post that might get to the top of the topics in the general election. So that's why I feel it's very important that you know what each political party is about, particularly if you care for the environment, particularly if you believe that the climate is not going in the right direction generally. Then you need to sit up and take note, because that's what I've been writing about and talking about for many years, and it's now coming to fruition with a general election.